Just checking sound, okay. Hello, Maya TV. My name is Eligia. I'll be the host today. Our special guest is Lana Gubana, who is a model and an actress known for Oral, Bohemian, and Tropical Lockdown. How are you today?
Hi. I'm very happy to be here.
Yeah, we're very happy to have you. So we've been doing this thing where we have artists on our channel and we get to know what they're about and their upcoming projects. So I wanted to start off with your background because I know it has manifested in your identity as an artist. Where did you grow up?
My background is so diverse. I have mixed origins. So my mother is half Austrian, half Russian, but my father is Bulgarian. But I was born in Ukraine, but grew up in Moldova, then in Russia, then back to Moldova. So I'm very mixed. And then later on in life, I spent all my summers in Sardinia, in Italy. So even more mixed.
Wow, from everywhere. And now you're in LA, you're visiting here?
Yes, I'm visiting here. I'll be here until March.
Yeah. And then you currently reside in where?
London.
In London, yeah. Do you work there the most?
Yes, I do. I finished my formal training in London at Met Film School, and I stay there.
Yeah, that's incredible. Okay, so I wanted to get started on where your love for modeling and acting, where that came into play. What age were you when you first started working?
Well, my mother was a painter, and I started as a model for her friends, painters, like posing for painters, and I couldn't say that I loved it, but when I saw first movies, somehow I was not inspired by Russian movies. I was inspired first by Indian movies, and namely not by their acting, but their clothing, their dances. So I was like, I'll grow up and I'll be like that. And then later I saw a Hollywood movie, and that was my love. So I just fell in love with the naturalism in the movies, and I told myself that I will be an actress. I even made friendship with a projectionist, and he used to show, because I had to go on Russian channels. We wouldn't see Hollywood movies, right? So we will go in theaters to see them. And so my mom would give me some money to go for one screening, but I wanted to see all of them. So same movie, 5 times, I wanted to see all of them. So I always found ways to get into the theater, sometimes peeking through the door, then sometimes just making friends around. So I made friendship with a projectionist, and he took me to his projectionist room, and we were watching all the movies from there, and he was explaining me the process, how do you do it, how do you put the movie together, and so that's where my passion began.
Wow, did you ever imagine you would be on the screen?
Well, I imagined, but I couldn't realize it will be possible, because I was in Moldova. There were no movies in Moldova. Maybe one movie per year.
Wow.
And that's the maximum, because sometimes one movie in 2-3 years. So, but I wanted Hollywood movies, and I couldn't see it possible. So I said, okay, I have to study. I have to do something else. But then, you have to dream big, because sometimes life just throw you things that you never thought of. Well, maybe you wished for, but you never thought possible.
Do you remember what some of those films were that you were really inspired by, the Hollywood ones, or any actors that you liked growing up?
Well, my first idol, she was Charlize Theron. I just loved her. And if we're talking about male actors, that was Keanu Reeves. I still love them both. I think they're amazing. And that's about it.
What was your first feature that you did over in English, like over in America?
Well, I came to America by an unfortunate event. A friend of mine killed himself, and I couldn't bear the feeling, so I just wanted to change, and I came to America. I have an auntie in Sacramento, California. So I came there, I stayed there, and then I was invited to a miss. I applied to this miss. There, they told me about San Francisco Fashion Week. I went there, and they took me. I did the walking for San Francisco Fashion Week, and there they proposed me a movie, a short. I was not sure about it because I didn't feel like I'm ready because of my English, of course, at that very moment. But I said yes to a project that was Bohemian. You mentioned it because it's very dear to me. It was a movie made from pictures. It's like pictures, but when you watch it, it's a movie, and it's very, very nice. It has some Hitchcock hints like that. When you look to the pictures, you kind of get the hint of what will happen. And that was a very, very good production company and director. And I loved working in it. And also, I think it was awarded or nominated. At least I know for sure one of the picture was chosen from 3,000 pictures. It was chosen and exhibited in San Francisco Art Academy.
Wow, that's really incredible. So you did mention you did some modeling first. Was that something that you were also passionate about, or was it just the opportunity came about for you?
Well, I always liked to be on the stage, to be honest, since I was a kid. I don't know, I was that extrovert kid that want to show everyone that she's got. So, and I don't know for what reason people will actually ask me to the things. I mean, I recall the community theater director. She was always, when she would see me, she would like, you have to come. You have such a nice voice. You have to play the bunny. You have to play the fox. And I was like, hey, I don't know, And of course I would accept because I liked being on the stage. So I started modeling in like acting in the theater when I was quite young. And it came naturally to me. I like it or I don't like it. I didn't even question myself. They said it's good, then it's good. When you're a kid, it's like that. If they say it's good, it's good. So, of course, I enjoyed the process and the results. So, what was your question?
No, you did. You answered it. Yeah, you started modeling.
I was thinking, did I lose it?
No, it's just you did have a big transition because you did modeling and you did acting, but you did mention something about you not having the English, but we're doing an interview in English, but that's not what's impressive. What's impressive is you speak way more languages, right? How many can you speak and what are they?
Well, I speak 7 languages, but 5 of them are fluent. So I speak English, French, Italian, Russian, and Romanian. Those are like fluent. I have a slight accent in all of them. So even in my mother tongue, I have a slight accent. I don't know why, because it's mixed. But I think that's the quirk, that's the beauty of it. And I speak 2 other languages not so well. That's Portuguese and German. German is the most difficult language for me. I don't know how. I studied German and French at the uni, but German I couldn't get it till the end.
So German, pretty difficult. Was English difficult as well? Because a lot of the other ones are Romance languages, right?
Well, yeah. No, English was not difficult, but it was. The problem was that our teacher, she had a baby, our first teacher. So she was one lesson and then 1 month missing, and then 1 lesson and 1 month missing. So I had to learn English mostly by myself. So I was challenged by the accent, not by the reading, not by the writing, but by the talking, And we didn't have people with whom to talk there.
Were you like autodidactic with like all your languages? Did you teach yourself or did you go to classes? Like obviously,
well, I started to study French when I was in school, then English, but as I said, the teacher was missing most of the time.
Mm-hmm.
So French, spoken it very well. I was reading it,
Mm-hmm.
listening to it. Like we had Alliance Française, so it's a kind of community for French people.
Mm-hmm.
So I was fortunate to go there and watch movies in French
Mm-hmm.
and things like that. For the English, we didn't have that access to the spoken language, so it was a little bit more difficult.
Mm-hmm.
Then I went to the uni where I studied again French and German.
Mm-hmm.
And then my sister, she's a teacher of Italian and living in Italy, so I was spending my summers in Italy, and I studied it there. Well, I didn't study; I just started to talk, and then, of course, I have two mother tongues, Russian and Moldovan, because my mother was talking with her family in Moldovan, but with my father in Russian. So, and then German, as I said, I was studying it in the uni, but Portuguese, I studied it in, I just learned it by talking in England, because there is so many Brazilians out there.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wow. And that's where you're currently residing, so you're still working on it?
I don't know how, I got most of my friends, they're Brazilians, so I just speak it.
Oh, that's really cool. Do you find the more languages you learn, it becomes easier, or does it become confusing to the other languages?
Well, it's always difficult to answer, because from one side it's easier because you have the roots of the word, so you pick up the root of the word and you know what that means. But from the other side, more languages, when you speak, our brain works by pictures, by analogies. So it's not the language you are focusing on it, but our brain automatically chooses the best word for a specific meaning. So whenever I'm talking, sometimes I can put something that is from Russian or Brazilian, or because our brain doesn't recognize languages, it recognizes like pictures, associations.
Wow. Which language have you worked in the most?
I think in every period of my life I had one language that I used the most. So first it was, of course, Russian and Romanian, because our country has two languages. And then it was French, because I had a business with a French partner. And so I had to talk all day long in French. Then I was spending summers in Italy, so I used Italian, and I still use it. And then I kind of got into English and never switched. I would say that now, even when I talk Russian, most of my words come from English. So they find me funny because I speak Russian. It's my native, it's my mother tongue, and I just put there some English words.
What are you thinking? What are you dreaming? What languages?
I think now in English.
Really?
Yeah.
And then you do dream like in English, or?
Well, because when I speak subconscious, because it's a question that I often am asked, and I say like, okay, I don't know. But then when I think, when I'm subconscious, where I talk to myself, somehow I talk to it in English. I think that's the answer.
Yeah. Maybe you're working recently and stuff.
And I just talk to myself in English. I don't know why.
Yeah.
But it's kind of weird, because if now it will be a person here talking in French, I just switch without thinking, and he will talk not to me, maybe I just hear the language, I will begin to talk to you in French without even thinking, and then I'll realize, wait, she's English, I have to switch back.
So, languages are an incredible thing, especially when you want to become an actor. But do you find yourself getting cast? Like, where usually do they cast you? Do they cast you as like a European? Do they cast you
enough to kind of get cast for who I am or for my acting skill rather than the language? But as I'm getting now into the big business, let's see. I don't know.
Yeah. Like, what your agent put you up for? Like, this one would be you. This one would be you. You would do anything because you can have the language, you can have the accent.
Yeah, they say it's a very good thing to know more languages, and I don't know if that will be in my way, my accents in every language have. Well, it depends. I have a slight accent in some, like for example, in French they say I have a Parisian, like Parisian. But
Yeah,
I don't know.
I think it'll service your work, and I do want to talk about some of your projects.
Sure.
You mentioned that you were going to play a really cool, fun part earlier. Do you remember the mafia one? Yeah.
Three Shade Mafia.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's an amazing script. I think that's the best script I ever read. It's from Thomas Kenneth, I think. Yeah, and I'll be the wife of a mobster.
That sounds
will be
fun.
Yeah, not a Russian mobster. He's American, but I loved it because it brings something like you would think the wife of a mobster will be a tough lady because she is always even kind of bossing around her husband, who is the boss.
Yeah.
But she's a very kind and gentle woman, and she takes care of a family of black people in the times of like big races. So I really liked this movie, and then this family, his father is killed, and then the mother was killed, so the kids stays alone, and she's raising that kid, and it's based on a true story, and it's an amazing. I cannot say a lot of things about it because
It's still, is it in pre-production still?
Yes.
Oh, but it sounds like a really complex character.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Because she's not, the typical
No.
mafia.
No,
woman.
she's so kind, and she faces racism as well because of the kids. So when she goes to the stores, everyone around is like bad.
That's incredible. It's coming out this year? Next year?
Yes.
Oh, okay. We'll look out for it.
It'll be shoot this year. So.
Oh, so you're looking forward to that this year?
Yeah.
Oh, that's
Yes.
amazing. Where are you shooting?
I think in Atlanta.
That's exciting. So you're going to work in the U.S., You're going to come from London? Okay. So where have you worked before, and is there a place that you really love that you'd like to go back?
Well, I worked in Italy, in Germany, in France, in England. I had a bunch of projects here. Of course, Moldova.
So many places.
But yes, yes, and I liked. Well, I cannot delimitate one country that I like the most. I love United States. I would love to be here and work here. I'm working on that. Where I would like to work again, everywhere. Cannot say. It's the people, it's the project, it's not the country. Every country it's beautiful.
And you've got the languages, that can get you through. It's really amazing, yeah. Oh, so I was going to ask you, is there a certain place that feels like home to you, or is it wherever you are currently?
Well, you saw, I lived everywhere.
Everywhere, right?
And the last 8 years, I really lived everywhere. So 2 months in Portugal, 6 months in Florence, 2 months there, just like that, the last 8 years. So I consider myself global or international. I even won a contest, Miss. I won the Miss International.
Oh, that's amazing! Congratulations on that.
You.
Yeah. Do you feel like that's something close to your heart? You really want to bring people together, do different projects, like with directors from other.
Of course. I think art has no boundaries, and just like love and art, no boundaries, no borders. The more you make something for everyone, the better it is. It's not about being bringing a culture thing. It's about bringing out a feeling.
That's really beautiful. Yeah, it's a very artistic thing, right? Where it crosses, because you told me you started with modeling, right? And that's visual, right? And that's even before all your languages came into play. So I want to ask you if there's anything that you would like to do in the future. Like, would you like to venture into directing? Would you like to venture into just more roles, more complex roles?
I'd like to focus now on acting.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not thinking about directing.
Mm-hmm.
I'm thinking of a project of my own. Actually, I was just told that I should do a project on my own. So as a producer, maybe
Yeah.
a story of my life
Mm-hmm.
and my father.
Mm-hmm.
But that's later.
Yeah.
I want to focus on acting.
On acting, yes. Is there any projects you mentioned the Mafia one that's coming up, but it's still early. Is there any other projects you like to plug? Any socials we can find you on?
Yeah, there is a project that I'm very proud of.
Mm-hmm.
It's called Warhol,
Mm-hmm.
like Andy Warhol,
Mhm.
but it's not about Andy Warhol.
Mhm.
It's about Andy Warhol said that in the future every person will have 15 minutes of fame. So that's quite the theme of this movie. And the movie came out very well. The director is Adam Eaton Crow, and the producer, she's the ex-CFO of 20th Century Fox, Shelly Atkin. And I'm really proud of this movie I've been in. The star of the show is Corey Johnson. He was in The Mummy. He was in a lot of movies. I was really proud to be on the same set with such people. And also, the movie was nominated Best UK Feature Film, and the world premiere was in London on Piccadilly. Yeah, and it sold out in 2 hours. And then they moved us to a bigger venue, and they added tickets, and it was sold out in 20 minutes. So it was really a blast, and it was the fastest sold out in the history of the Raindance Film Festival. Now, then after that, we showed it in Spain during the Girona Film Festival, and it won 6 awards: Best Director, Best Producer, Best Screenwriting, Script Writing, Best Actor, Best Supporting Actor, Best Newcomer Actor. And now it will be shown in a few days, I think, in Paris International Film Festival, and all the tickets are sold already. So it's a very, very good movie. I recommend you keeping an eye on it, Warhol, and I am sure it will come soon. No, we are sure it's coming will be shown here in the United States as well during a film festival, and then now they are working on the distribution, and it will be for sure shown.
That's exciting, and I can tell you're just so proud to be a part of that.
Yes,
Yeah.
I am.
I do want to ask you if you have any advice for someone who wants to follow your footsteps, maybe someone who wants to learn languages in order to pursue their art. Like, do you have anything that you've learned along the way you'd like to share with the viewers?
Well, that's 2 different questions.
Yeah.
So for the languages, is just put yourself in the environment where you have no choice than to respond and listen. That's the first
The deep
thing.
end.
Yeah. Don't focus on the grammatic from the start. Just listen to people, and if there is a language that's from the same, like if it's a Romanic language, so then it will be easy for you. So if you're Spanish, then Italian, Portuguese will be easy for you. If not, just listen, go and watch movies. I will always watch movies or read with the translation. So that's the way it's. The easiest is movies. I learned French from movies, you know. Well, I was reading it, I was in school, but grammatic is one thing. Speaking is another thing. You can speak without knowing grammatics, because kids doesn't learn, and they don't learn grammatic. I think when I was learning languages, they focused on grammatic first, and then you have a head like that, and then you go into the vocabulary, which I prefer the other way. For the people who are watching us, just a few advices. Dream big. That's the first one. Focus on whatever you want to achieve. don't lose the focus while enjoying life. Enjoy it, but don't lose the focus, and do something, anything, every day. Small things, because it all matters, and it will bring you there where you want to be.
That was really beautiful. Thank you.
Thank you.
Can I have your socials so people can follow you, see what projects you're...
Sure,
Yeah.
sure. My socials. Well,
Are you on
Lana-
Instagram?
Yes, I'm on Instagram. I think I'm on Facebook, on Instagram. I have my own website, so better if you go on the website lanagubana.com. You'll find all the socials there. Or in Instagram, Lana Gubana, Facebook, Lana Gubana. The same.
Oh, perfect. So we'll look out for that. And good luck on your projects and all your filming that you're coming up on. And it was really lovely to talk to you and get to know so much about you. You're so intellectual and beautiful, and I hope I wish you all the best. Okay. And thank you so much to everyone who's been watching. We've had a lot of fun interviewing all these artists, and stay tuned for more. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.